All right. You know, it is certain that the tax reform bills transmitted to the National Assembly by President Bola Tinubu were going to ruffle feathers. Now, the National Economic Council, NEC, has recommended to President Bola Tinubu to withdraw the bills to allow for wider consultations. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde said this formed part of resolutions reached at the 144th meeting of the Council, held at the State House, Abuja. Now, Nigerians, according to the Oyo State hemsman, have to reach a consensus and, by extension, understand the dynamics. So the decision, Governor Makinde added, was for the overall benefit of the country. So let's share this story by TVC News' Femi Akonde. Let's go there.
A setback for President Bola Tinubu's tax reform bills, which the federal government insists will enhance efficiency and eliminate redundancies across the country's tax operations. The National Economic Council also expressed its reservations over concerns raised about the spirit and letter of the bills, but it advised that the bills be withdrawn to ensure wider consultations
for the proposed reforms. So Council therefore recommend the need to withdraw the bill currently before the National Assembly on tax reforms, so that we can have wider consultations and also build consensus around these reforms for the benefit of
This approach aligns with NEC's statutory responsibilities to advise the President on economic matters and policy implementation.
Third fund to the growth and development of education in Nigeria. Furthermore, on the rationale behind the establishment of NASENI, that is the mandate of NASENI, which is to encourage production of local goods and services.
The National Economic Council also directed the Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation to commence a comprehensive integrity review of the state of Nigeria's waterways and dams as part of efforts to mitigate the ravaging impact of floods.
There was serious emphasis on the need for a massive program of dredging or desilting of the waterways and have a firm program of continuous desilting almost on an annual basis.
The Council was also given updates on the ongoing economic reforms and its impacts.
Investment in resilient infrastructure and services for internally displaced persons and host communities, because it's not only the internally displaced person that needs support, but host communities need support as well in order to host them.
People are paid after they have been uniquely identified biometrically, and they are paid digitally through a bank account or mobile wallet. And those payments have been rolled out. We have reached 5 million households.
The National Economic Council's recommendations are just advisory, but it may go a long way in determining President Tinubu's next course of action and also set a process for further engagement with the governors and other critical stakeholders. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
All right, well, welcome back. Yeah, there's a breaking development, breaking news here. Basically, it's having to do with the story we just dealt with. The presidency has said, okay, withdraw those bills. Let's go for the recommendation.
No, yeah. The president has confirmed that it has received the
advice.
The advice of the National Economic Council, but it is saying that the legislative process that has begun should be allowed to continue, and that we received the recommendations that the tax reforms bills already sent to be National Assembly withdrawn for further consultation.
All right then.
No, but they would want the legislative process to continue since it has begun, and it provides an opportunity for inputs and necessary changes without withdrawing the bills from the National Assembly.
Okay.
So it's not.
Okay.
No, the presidency is not withdrawing the bill.
Yeah, but
it thinks that since the legislative process has begun, people can make input.
Yeah.
So that we can have.
Which is a way of is deferring to NEC. Deferring to National Economic Council.
No, it's just acknowledging.
So it's acknowledging that we have received the advice.
That's it.
But the legislative process has begun, and that people want to make changes.
Okay.
Can suggest those changes. During the hearing and all that.
All right.
So that is the point that they are not withdrawing the
bills. No.
They are just saying that, look,
yeah.
Those who key stakeholders can address any reservations about the bills while the National Assembly considers them for passage.
Yeah. Okay.
So Nonuga, the presidential spokesman, is saying that the bills are meant to reposition the economy for better productivity and efficiency and make the operating environment for investment and business more conducive. This is the objective, and it remains critical even today more than before. President Tinubu acknowledged that where there may be differences in approach or specific provisions of the new tax bills, what is not in contention is the need to review the country's tax laws and how to administer them to serve the overall national agenda. So he welcomed the advice and recommendation of the National Economic Council, which is an essential constitutional organ of government on economic matters.
So basically, which is saying the presidency is okay. Let's look at the broader issues.
Yeah, I think I align with the presidency on this because I also believe that there are contentious issues in the way our tax laws are as present, especially concerning even the area that the northern governors pointed out. Interestingly, like the government said, the government representative said, it is not even the northern governors alone. Other parts of the federation are also have one reason or the other not to be comfortable with the law as it is. Remember that Rivers State government took the federal government to court in 2021, and concerning the issue of VAT, at that time it said that it is entitled to collecting the VAT of products in the state and all of that. It won. The state won, but at the appeal, the federal government won and all of that. So I think there is a need for us to review the tax laws, yes. So for the presidency to say, yes, let the process continue, then after all, in legislative matters, before you even come up with a law, there are opportunities for public hearings, and there are opportunities for suggestions and inputs from relevant stakeholders.
After all, the National Assembly is an aggregation of representatives
of the people. Yes, so I think those who are aggrieved can, or who have one point or the other to add, can actually table them at the point of public hearings and all of that. But it's also good for the presidency to have acknowledged the inputs of NEC, so that it doesn't appear as if the presidency is just doing all of these things.
That's true. After all, on this show, we give context and clarity to stories, the stories that come our way. Of course, the big idea is to mold opinion, just so decision makers can take a heed.